Hi, I'm Candace Mercer and I'm running for Olympia City Council. I wanted to give you a tour of my garden so you could get to know me a little better. Why don't you come on in? I have deer, so I have to be smarter than the average deer, which I think I qualify. Here's my potatoes. I am going to have a lot of potatoes. They don't look so healthy right now, but they were very vigorous early. My pride, oh, I am not smarter than a deer. The perimeter has been breached. Oh, but these are my prized peppers, which I grew all summer. My plan was I had a party last weekend, and I make a really fabulous salsa. So my plan was to grow all the chilies and tomatoes for the salsa so I could have a party for all my supporters. And it turned out really well. It was a beautiful day, and that's why my garden's all decorated. I normally don't have the campaign signs up, but I had a party, and that's why I have the flags too. So you can see there's some of the peppers. I didn't harvest them all yet, and the deer didn't get them all. And oh, they got quite a few though. And this, I'm really proud of this. These pumpkins, I am a woman with a pumpkin patch who grew actual pumpkins. Now my goal, which I failed at, my goal was to grow my own weight in pumpkins because I was growing some of the super big ones. That didn't work out, but I still have at least 6 pumpkins and I am proud. And I grew most of these flowers from seed. I started this season with about 50 sunflowers, and I'm not exaggerating. And these are the only ones that have survived the wind, the deer, being moved because my landlord was doing work. So they lived. I got some peas coming up right now. And here's some of my art. These are a couple paintings I did, maybe 1998 or so, 99. This is one of my favorite paintings I did of all time. I just love the dog. I love the size, the way I handled the sky. And this one, this is a very special one too. I did this for my daughter's room. And these are like watchdogs, you know, watching over her. And so that's an important piece for me. I want to talk to you about this little mountain here. This is my cat, by the way. Her name's Eva. Most candidates pose with their dogs, but that's not my style. I do like dogs, though, don't get me wrong. But let me tell you about this mountain. This is a pile of stones I just collected while I was gardening, and I didn't know what to do with them. I'm going to be moving soon. So for the party, I decided just to pour them out, like just make a little bit of experimental art here. But this mountain of stones has some symbolism to me. This represents my campaign, which is basically my attempt to climb a mountain. And each one of these stones is one of the little actions I took to get here over the course of 2 years. All the study and work and relationships I build. And this speaks, mountain climbing, when you're climbing Mount Everest or climbing El Capitan, like Alex Honnold or Tommy Caldwell, you're engaging in what I call the art of the impossible. You're doing things that are near superhuman. And for me, you know, I'm disabled with chronic pain. Running for council for me is doing the impossible. And why does this matter to Olympia? I'll tell you why. Right now, one of our biggest problems in Olympia is substance abuse. And the mindset in Olympia right now is about maintaining substance abuse, helping people who are using be comfortable using. And there isn't much talk about healing and about getting better and about doing the impossible. And for people who have substance abuse, it may seem impossible to get sober. But I know that humans are capable of doing great things, and that people can really surprise themselves. And I'd like to see a mindset in Olympia that speaks more to that, to encouraging people to do the impossible, to heal, to get better, to find housing. And, you know, talk about impossible. I've lived in this house for 8 years now on an income of less than $15,000 a year. I have stayed housed with no housing aid. It is possible. It's just hard. But our problem with the camps is not just one of housing, it's one of mindset. And that's something I really want to bring to the council, is looking at the psychology and how we can really help people. So sorry I got a little heavy there. We're going to talk about the shopping carts in a minute. I'll get to that. There's my bean trellis. This here, this is my special place where I would come out, I'd play my music super loud and annoy my neighbors. I tried to limit the Book of Mormon soundtrack to once a day and my campaign song to 4 to 8 times a day. I think I drove them crazy and they're not talking to me anymore. I think. No, I think it's good. But anyway, this is my flower garden. I grew most of these, even the dahlias, from seed. The zinnias were seed. And this is where I would sit with my music playing, and I would do what I call my plotting and scheming. I would do all my campaign planning, writing my song, art directing the video, writing my speeches, you know, coming up with notes for the endorsement meetings. This is where I did a lot of heavy lifting. And I gotta say, I thought running for council would be the hardest thing I did in my life. And it is. Do not get me wrong. I am digging deep for this city. But in another way, it was the easiest thing. It was the easiest decision I made because the city needs me. And I felt that civic call to duty to step up when nobody else was willing to try to heal and house our city. So this is where I did all my plotting and scheming about healing and housing the city. This piece, this is an interesting piece, and it's kind of relevant to today. That's why I put it out here for the party. This is a piece I did that was a reaction to the AIDS crisis. And it shows victims of AIDS with Kaposi sarcoma, and there's the AIDS virus at the bottom. You know, here are the people that died because of AIDS. And I cannot help but compare our COVID response to what happened when AIDS was going around. And why I say that is people who had HIV back in the day, they were treated as medically underclassed the same way we are now creating a separate class of COVID patients, either the vaccinated or the unvaccinated. People are using the same rhetoric against the unvaccinated that they used against AIDS victims. Dentists didn't want to treat people. They didn't want to give them dental care. And I'm hearing people say, oh, well, if you haven't been vaccinated, you shouldn't be able to go to the hospital. Are you okay with that? I'm not. There should not be 2 separate classes when it comes to medical treatment. I'm sorry. No. So here's my bed. Grub, Garden Raised Urban Bounty, built this bed for me. I've had it for 2 years now. And these are my super prized peppers. Like, look at this serrano. Look at how many there are. Oh my goodness. I'm having another party in about a month for my supporters, and that's going to make some really good salsa, let me tell you. And tomatillo. This tomato, I didn't even plant this tomato, and look at it. It's absolutely insane. I've been trimming it constantly. This tomato, to me, it grew on its own. I didn't plant it. And to me, it's a metaphor just for the will to survive, the will to live. And when I look at people that live in the homeless camps, a lot of people call them our most vulnerable. I don't. I have respect for them. I see their strength, I see their resiliency, I see their resourcefulness, and I see their grit. And those are characteristics that are really good and that we can build on to get them into a better place. So I do not see them as lost causes at all. I see them as strong people with agency that we can inspire to other things. So anyway, yeah, here, look at all these tomatoes. I really went in because I wanted to make a lot of salsa. I've already harvested quite a few, but you'll see there is still an abundance for the next party. And now some of you may be saying, what is going on with the shopping carts? I know I would be. This is what's going on with the shopping carts. I live on Pattison and Martin Way, which is the epicenter of suffering in Thurston County. We have the jungle, Ensign Street, DeVoe Street, the entire neighborhood. There are at least 200 or 300 homeless people living within, I would say, a 2-mile radius of my house. So every one of these shopping carts was left on my street. I tried to do the right thing. I brought each cart home. I called the store. I said, hey, Target, I got your cart. Then I called them again when I had 2. Hey, Target, I have 2 of your carts. You want to come get them? Here's my address. I'm really close by. When I got 3, Target, I got 3 of your carts. Nothing. Not a single retailer came and got these carts. And each cart, I did the research on this, each cart is about $250, conservative. Like, that's a reasonable rate, not too high, not shockingly cheap. So right now, I have over $3,000 of carts in my yard that nobody cares about. Nobody cares that anyone took these. Nobody cares about getting them back. I don't understand it. And that's why I'm running for council, is to try to solve these problems. So here's the pumpkin patch. It is not looking very good right now. The powdery mildew got it, and it's the end of the season, but it was very, very large over the summer. I have 1 zucchini left here, or 2. Oh, there's another one. No comment. Here's my strawberry patch. And they kind of bear fruit all season, so if I get them before the rabbits do, it's awesome. This is my catnip patch. Oh yeah. Beans. The celery's finally growing. I'm growing celery for